do, everybody? You already know what time it is. It's Factz Ova Feelinz, the podcast. I'm your host, SPI, the most East Spider Loc, a.k.a. the Bangadocious, One Bay Machiavelli, VJ Keyway, and I have a very, very special guest today. My partner, he's a native of the east side of South Central Los Angeles, as myself. It's a name, if you're familiar with my catalog of music, that I have referenced on multiple occasions, quite praiseworthy when I speak of the culture that we hail from as comrades. I don't speak highly of many individuals, but without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest, my homeboy in the flesh, the legendary Lil Johnny Ray from the Cutorious 102nd Street. What it do, brother?
Yeah, and to everyone, I salute all the good men and the good women out there.
Yes, sir. Just to give the people a little history on, I'm gonna allow you to give your own introduction, but outside of that, I just want to make it known that this is a youth comrade of mine from the streets, incarceration, and all those. We've just had a reunion less than a year ago. I hadn't seen him in almost 20 years. I hadn't realized it had been that long. But I think it had been 18 years, and you mind filling in the blanks? I saw you about 18 years ago. I hadn't seen you, and then word was out that you was on the streets, so I made my way to you quick. You want to fill us in on the gap of those 18 years that you wasn't in circulation?
Well, I went to the feds. I went through a judicial process, just like most brothers did, that don't agree with the outcome of it, but you know, I was.
You mean you fought an appeal?
I definitely fought an appeal. Several of them. Definitely fought an appeal. Several appeals with the feds, but I was deemed a career offender, and I was given a 20-year sentence.
And I remember you shared with me, you through your research and filing your appeal and doing your own legal work.
I did.
Technically, you found grounds to where you were not actually a career offender, but they still used the strong arm of the law to hold you under those.
I mean, well, in the process, let me get some clarification.
Okay.
I had two cases. I had a case in Alabama, and I had a case in the state of New Mexico. In the state of New Mexico, I was deemed a career offender. They gave me 15 years. And then in Alabama, I got 5 years, and they ran a consecutive. Well, through that process, you have remedies. I mean, once you exhaust those remedies, it's like you go through hell and high water to get back in there. You know what I'm saying? So regardless of the discovery, I mean, if they don't want to let you in, they don't have to let you in. You know what I'm saying? You only have the benefit of that 1 year window in order to file after your appeal, to file your what they consider a habeas corpus, but it's 2255.
We casually speaking about this period of time, 18 years, like almost like it's 18 months, bro. And as we discussing it, it's really hitting me about how much time that is, and just being aware of the type of mental effect that can have on a human being. I know you to be such a strong spirited individual, but are there any things in particular, spiritually wise, entertainment wise, reading wise, that you relied upon to make sure you kept yourself sane? That's a long time.
I mean, you know,
relationships,
literature. It was broad. You know what I'm saying? I like.
You have a particular subject matter that you like to read up on?
Really, I like anything.
Anything.
I mean, I just ain't gonna inject that in here,
right.
And that gives way to open the window to.
No, you are.
I don't want to give everybody that, right?
Yeah, you are an anomaly, and I humbly profess you are the anomaly that is me. The way you are able to speak on so many variety of subjects, you're so well versed in so many different concepts. You're articulate. It kind of defies the reputation which you actually possess as a demon, if I might say that. It's like it's hard for both to be true. So it's why I'm
definitely believe in God.
Exactly. No. And everyone knows how spiritual I am, and he believes in God to a level, an extent that I might not even profess to. We've had very interesting conversations on that subject that we might have an opportunity to get into if not today, at another time. This is probably an individual that you'll see return back to the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast, because I really appreciate the opportunity to share this type of platform with someone that I ate noodles with. This the type of nigga, just to get y'all, this just came to my mind out of nowhere. This the type of nigga that we in a cell, right? And one of our cell members, who's not of our actual section, go to court and feel comfortable leaving certain items behind. And we hungry, cuz. And we know this nigga coming back from the fine day. And I ain't gonna lie, cuz there's some shit I probably wouldn't have did if somebody else didn't bring it up. But I remember we used to dog a nigga Snow, cuz, or dare a nigga to say something when he come back. Oh, I ain't no buster, man. You ain't had to do me like that. And nigga be burping up his chips. The homie will fuck around, have a bag with a little bit of the nigga chips left and try to offer him that or something. Totally off the subject. I apologize. But 18 years incarceration on the federal level. Shout out to Big Kiko, K-Head, a lot of the homies that have done long stretches whose names ring bells through that federal system. Have you ever thought about doing any writing yourself? Because you speak well, you like to read. Does it ever motivate you to do any writing?
I mean, I have done. I've done creative writing while I was in cyber. Since I've been out here, you know, my focus has been in too many different directions. You know what I mean? For you looking for stability. You trying to grab a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to establish a process to give you a lane. You know what I'm saying?
How do you balance the anxiety of, as bad as I know you want it, I know you got to tiptoe and be very cautious.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man. I mean, you know, you think about everything. You think about when you think about establishing anything, you're thinking about everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, you know, regardless of how it is, or how I can say the law. You know what I'm saying? The justifications or whatever. I mean, you know, look at our brother. You know, K. He's suffering in incarceration. You know what I'm saying?
Free the homie.
Through some mishaps, some
right.
some illegalities. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, I mean,
it can happen.
You try to, like you said, tiptoe. You gotta stay away from that range, and it's easy to get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're guilty by association. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I learned with this new wave of public incarceration in general. Free the homie Dr. On, if you see aware of what his situation was.
Yeah, that thing is deep right there.
And then you see how they're doing with the you want to take it as far as to to Coochie and the 9 Trades, and then they did it to recently to Young Thug and his organization.
Yeah.
Another famous artist from New York, Casanova, got the RICO. This concept of it's okay to be on the camera and be open, organized crime.
It's dangerous, right?
Yeah, it's not being accepted. I really don't understand how an individual cannot realize really establishing it's one thing to be a studio gangster and say, or it's another thing to say, I used to. It's another thing to say, hey, I'm all this. This is what I'm doing right now, documenting it, and then actually be doing it. That's a whole nother, like, something hard to, for me to digest. And I know, speaking about incarceration on the federal level, you share some very interesting things with me outside of the typical process of being in jail, as far as, you know, missing home, just surviving to keep your sanity, or struggling to keep your sanity, fighting. Any of that shit is like small talk compared to some of the things you share with me on a deeper level in the federal prison system, on the long sides of you went to the dentist to get a procedure done, and things took place that you weren't aware of, that you became aware of later. And I would love for you to share that with the audience, and let's kind of get into that a little bit.
Okay, I went to the dentist, and I'm gonna give it to you like I didn't give it to you last time, right?
Thank you.
I went to the dentist, and they did a checkup or whatever, and the first time I had a tooth that the dentist said that need to be extracted. So I told him, I said, look, man, I have too many missing teeth, man. Can you save it? I know you can save it, because I know it's another process. It's root canal, right? And he looked at me and he said, man, let me think about it.
Which prisons don't typically offer. They typically just offer you the extraction. Go ahead.
And so then he said, okay, look, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a root canal. I said, all right, thank you, man. I mean, I was appreciative, right? Because I'm thinking like, oh man, he's finna do this, man. He don't have to do this, but he going out his way.
You didn't give it to me like this last time.
So then, you know what I'm saying? We start going through this process, and he did everything, you know. And so, you know, they take the nerve out or whatever, you know. They gut it out. They take the root out the tooth, and then he fill it in. Then you got to go back for the cap or whatever that go over the top of the tooth, right? And so he did the first process, and so then I kept coming back and asking him. He said, "Well, we're gonna put you in a line in order to get this to finish the rest of the treatment." But then his assistant said, "Oh, we have a couple more things that we have to do, and then but you in line." So I'm saying, okay, but I never got to that, and then eventually things developed. I got into an altercation in that prison, and I was shipped to another prison. You know what I'm saying? This first incident, well, the dentist treatment was in 2013. In September, I didn't bring my notes. I have that medical record.
But you're saying based on you getting shipped, they didn't complete everything that they had said they wanted to do for you.
Yeah,
okay.
Right there in Victor, because this happened in Victorville.
So 2013 is when you got the procedure, or when you got shipped?
2013 is when I got the procedure.
Okay.
2016 is when I shipped to Pollock, Louisiana.
Okay.
And so when I went to Pollock, you know, I stayed in Pollock. You know, things developed, and then I end up getting into a few altercations there. I mean, as prison,
activities.
What happens is when you're inside that environment, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And then I end up going to, well, let me backtrack some. I went to the dentist there. They did a checkup there too in 2017. And so they took some x-rays. When they took some x-rays, you know, I'm laying in the chair. And
I'm sure there's some sense of shared records between institutions.
Man, listen, it's in their file. Once you're in the feds, they can go on any computer anywhere and pull up your medical records. So when I get to Pollock, they do the X-rays, and he said he came to me up the X-ray screen right there while I'm laying in the chair. He say, "You ready to take that out?" I look on the screen. And I'm looking and I'm saying, man, what is that? So the first thing I think, I'm saying, okay, you know, I've been reading little radical books. You know, I have a radical selection of, you know, things.
I want y'all to recall. Remember, I asked him his preference of literature. Yeah. And it was anything. Now we get it. It's the radical literature.
No, it's not just the radical, but I mean, you know, when you're reading things, you're reading in a variety of things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But you had things in that subject matter that
that made me believe like, okay, they're trying to track me. You know what I'm saying? You get your books, the reading material comes in.
Ahead of yourself. They trying to track you. No,
I'm saying that's what made me believe that.
They haven't heard nothing of that yet.
Let me stop. So when I seen this on the thing, I'm thinking that it was a tracking device, right? So I'm looking. I'm saying, ooh. I'm like, what is that? You know, you look at the Jason Bourne movie.
Give us any concept what you saw visually. Just
I mean, you just see something floating and something sitting in the tooth.
Wow.
So if you see something sitting in the tooth, you like, okay, what is this?
Metallic?
I mean, I can't give you that. That's speculation.
Oh, it's on the X-ray.
It's on the X-ray, so I'm looking on the X-ray.
Okay.
So I can see something inside the tooth, and the dentist say, "Hey, you ready to take that out?"
Wow.
And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Oh shit." I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, if I take it out, I don't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm saying if it's a tracking device, what do I do? Because it was a lot of new developments in the laws, the changing of the laws that I believe that was
2016 in the second dentist chair is the first time you had any concept
17, that something was there.
Okay.
And so then after that, I got into some altercations in Pollock, Louisiana, and I got sent to a SMOOth program. It's SMU, it's Security Management Unit.
Okay.
It's like something equivalent to corporate shoe. You know what I'm saying? Here in the state of California, right? So I go there, and I'm in this program, and while I'm in this program, something happened again, and I end up getting another procedure done, right? And after that procedure, this other procedure came.
Dental now?
Yeah, in 2018, right? I ended up getting a different procedure done. My tooth cracked. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me I went through a dental. They gave me dental restoration. You know, they built the tooth up. You know what I mean? And in that process, something happened in there again, right? And so
ever since juvenile hall, something been happening when they get incarcerated. Go ahead.
So then after that, later on in January of 2019, that's when everything started happening. I mean, the police, the COs told me that, hey man, they chipped you.
All right.
Hey, they chipping inmates in the BOP. I'm saying the police. I'm saying I remember the dentist's name, both of them that I went to the procedures with, and then it was police. I remember 3 police told me that. 3 police.
Now, is this something you brought up to them first?
No, they just a CO just like we was in the hallway, we was chained up going on. He said, "Hey man, they did this, and this what they doing to inmates in the BOP." Said they chipping inmates in the BOP. They chipped you, and so then I was listening to it. You know what I mean? But then after that, you know, the strange things started happening. You know
Okay, so now you've seen it, you've read about it. COs made you aware it's going on.
Yeah.
And then you said the strange things start happening, which is another body of evidence for you to believe that this is definitely something you went through. So can you please explain what are some of the strange things?
Well, the strange things, man, they start communicating. Whoever was
Monitoring.
whoever's a part of this project or whatever it is, start communicating. I mean, like it's open and as understandable as me and you communicating here today.
Verbal
yeah.
communication.
I'm saying you can listen. They say, hey, look, you need to take this out. You need to do that. It's one up here and it's one down here. Go fill out a sick call. Go to medical. Get an X-ray. It's one here and it's one there. Talking about a technical implant. They gave me the language.
So they were basically
technical implant. Go take it out.
like they finished with what they were doing with you. They direct you to get rid of it. It's
Man,
over.
you need to take that out. And so I went down there and got an X-ray. And
Were you communicating to the medical personnel what you were thinking of going through, or did you just get the X-ray under other reasons? Or did you tell them why you wanted the X-ray?
no, I just told them
Filled out for a
not an
request.
X-ray. I told them I had a toothache.
So you went through the
and so they
process.
went down there and they have to give you an X-ray in order to determine what's wrong with the tooth. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
for treatment.
Did these dentists then, did they mention it, or is just the communicator suggesting you get rid of it, or did the new
No,
dentist?
the people that was communicating through the technology said.
And so you decided to.
I went down there.
Oh, you went
down there.
took it out, or no?
No, I didn't take it out right
Okay.
then. I had to get out because you had to have the evidence, right?
Yeah.
In order to substantiate
Otherwise,
any
you would
kind of
sound like
claim.
you sound crazy.
You just
Yeah.
run around
Yeah.
like, hey, look, we ain't trying
Right.
to just do that, right?
Right.
But I went down there. I asked them what it was. The dentist said, hey, I don't know what that is. I have to take that out in order to determine what that is. I said, man, why is that in there? He said, I don't know why that's in there. They use that. That's filling. I said, what do you mean that's filling? He said, man, we don't use that here, but we have to take that out in order to determine what that is. You want me to take that out? I can extract the tooth. I said, nah.
And you know, when things are federal, they're regulated to an extent that ain't nothing else. So I cannot imagine one dental establishment within the federal prison system can vary from another that much, where they're using a foreign substance to the point they might use something different, but to something unidentifiable for a filling. I can imagine that the federal dentists can be quite interchangeable from facility as far as their qualifications. So it seems quite suspicious that this dentist cannot even identify without extracting what you're seeing, and you already had it identified by our previous dentist.
Yeah, I just think, they all team players though. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you like this, I'm telling you straight up. I tried to reach out to communicate with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get somebody.
Oh, that's a good. When you heard voices, were you able to talk back?
Hell, I mean, you don't have to talk back. They in your thoughts. All your thoughts is like, this is your computer. So if they in there, they have a computer screen. They have an emote. You know what I'm saying? And so they have a screen, and they can send you a transmission, and this is sending one back.
I remember you sharing with me experiences of where your strength would be more readily available or just depleted when you weren't expecting it to be.
Let me tell you this too. I have to shoot this to you, man.
Okay.
Transhumanism is real.
And can you define that?
I can't define it.
Okay.
I don't have the vocabulary to.
But I have a general idea what I might think that is, but I'm not sure if it's correct.
Tell me your general idea.
Where they're fusing humans with technology.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, when you tell me the.
Or the MK Ultra idea.
I mean, when you tell me to give you the description, right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, like, I can only give you my experience because I'm not I'm not an expert
in the
You
subject.
know what I'm saying? I can give you my experience of what
Okay.
happened to me. I can give you my enhanced capabilities. I
Transhuman.
can tell you. I can tell you.
You know what? You know we're living really in the 2022. There's no reason for me not to have a good idea what transhumanism is.
There's definitely not a good idea.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's definitely not a good idea for you not to have it, right?
Correct. Right. Transhuman. There it is, man. Transhumanism is a philosophical and intellectual movement which advocates for the enhancement of the human condition by developing and making widely, I gotta really click on it to get the rest. Let's see, widely available sophisticated technologies that can greatly enhance longevity and cognition. It also predicts the inevitability of such technologies in the future.
Listen, this technology,
Exactly what I assumed.
this technology can impede you, but it can also enhance you. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying with my memory loss, man, I'm talking about my taste buds. I'm saying my eyes, my vision. I'm saying the regulation of my heart, my bowel movement, my bladder. I'm saying the muscle. I'm saying the feeling. I'm saying the feeling of pain. It can neutralize the feeling. It can neutralize the feeling of pain. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I'm saying like, hey. Like I said, I know it can be used for medicinal purposes, but like I told you before, like my gripe is that you did this to me without my consent.
Do you think somewhere you signed some papers?
No, I didn't sign no papers because I wouldn't. I think you with the feds. I'm in the feds. The only thing I'm thinking is that the government is involved.
What about the regular process of getting the regular dental work? Was it like a series of papers that you signed that you just don't really read?
No, I read everything.
read
You
it?
say you, yeah, oh yeah, I ain't playing with that. Like you signed something that you allowing them to do whatever procedure it is.
Right.
But it's this procedure. It ain't saying that you sign a contract and now you aligned yourself with some more technical experts that want to do an experiment on you.
Right.
Nah, that ain't.
So they can't produce that and surprise you with it.
Nah, you can't do that.
So okay, you came home from prison without allowing any of these dentists to extract it.
But
So then how did you proceed once you came home?
once I came home, I got an extraction done. I extracted both the teeth that I had procedures on.
With the technology still within it.
With the technology still inside the teeth. Put it away, got it secured. Got it away from my home because I felt like it was dangerous, right? Not paranoia, but being cautious, right?
Your life is starting to sound like an episode of the X-Files. Remember the X-Files?
X-Files, man. It might be some Jason Bourne type stuff.
You know what I mean?
You know, they had them type
So
of things.
what are
But
your-
definitely X-Files, though.
What are your objectives now? What are you attempting to do? Like you say, you can appreciate the overall implications of the technology and even the experience. You do feel somewhat violated by not volunteering or having an opportunity.
Got that understanding.
I can imagine that without this being something publicly announced and it being so secretive, that you being so vocal can be somewhat of a danger to you on some degree. There may be some people that would not be happy about you being so vocal about this experience that they're not even claiming to have. So do you have any fear of repercussion, or do you think that there would be any type of consequences that you might potentially have to pay for, I would guess use the word exposing?
I don't even draw into that. That's conjecture, speculation.
Anything is-
but I don't care. I tell somebody every day we stood on the streets every day waiting to die when we was young. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding, but thinking that it's down. This is down.
Signing
Whether
up
I'm
for
out
it.
here by myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm waiting on somebody to come through here and shoot me in my motherfucking head.
Right.
Right. So I'm saying like, hey, whatever it is.
Anything
what it
outside
is.
of that is a lot less. I can dig it.
all the time.
I can dig it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like, hey, I don't care about that. I'm looking for acceptance and responsibility. I'm saying, I have the teeth. I have the material inside the teeth. I'm saying I ain't looking for a handout. If you saying I'm crazy or I'm paranoid, I'm on some BS. I'm saying let me prove it.
Right.
And no expenses to nobody. I need direction. I don't know who to go to in order to give an analysis of what I have. That's all I'm looking
That's
for.
what I was about to ask you. In the event that any listener may be listening and may be able to help fulfill what your objective in that capacity and that want to assist you, do you have any place that I know you're not the person that's like on the grid as far as present on social media, but is there anywhere, other location, any point of contact that you want to put out there that if anyone finds any interest in this subject matter that might be able to help us fill in some of these blanks where they can contact you? You definitely can contact me via Instagram is the most direct way for strangers. Spider Loc, most Easty, the number 7 on IG. All you have to do is say Lil JR episode. I'll be familiar with what you're referring to, and I could put you in touch with the homie. Outside of that, where can people contact you directly if they have any interest in trying to further understand where you're coming from?
They can contact me on my email at ejliberated@gmail.com. All lower cap, all lowers.
Y'all got that. So just for reference, anybody that might have any knowledge or interest in helping the homie put some of these pieces together or this puzzle, that's where he can be located. You can tap out to me, reach out to me directly, or you can get at him. You know, you familiar with the concept of MK Ultra scandals and?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I have a brief knowledge about it.
Now, how do you relate your experience to the idea that a lot of people, in the mind of those MK type situations, when we have these mass shootings like Buffalo, what took place in Texas, there is a very popular opinion that a lot of these people may be candidates, knowingly or unknowingly, in similar experiments or procedures that you're saying you went through. Do you think that these type of experiences can be related at all?
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say it's probable, and I'm gonna say it like this technology that has the ability to manipulate your emotions, not just your the mind. Man, I can be the most angriest individual in my circle. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
They can enhance it.
Oh.
I'm saying through this technology, I'm saying I can be so aggressive.
More so
and so adamant about what I want done and what this is that I don't even all the reason is blanked out.
Do you believe that because you were actually housed in an institution that accepts people typically based on their behavior record, do you believe that your particular personal record that they were familiar with and your personal characteristics, personality traits that they've been familiar with throughout the systems, maybe of resistance, strength, leadership, dominance, caused them to choose you as a candidate because they could have picked anyone. But if I would have to go just from class, when it comes to the strength, warrior, and control, I would imagine your personal makeup made you desirable for them as a subject.
Me?
Versus just a random pick.
I'm gonna let you have that because I ain't gonna expound on that because I don't like to do the guessing game.
Say less.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be speculating if I say this, that, or whatever. So I don't want to do it. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know why they did it. They could have did it for any other. They could have did it for any reason. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. But like I tell you, I understand what this technology is. There's brothers that died on the inside of the feds that I didn't understand why they died, and nobody understood why they died. And some of them told me their experiences. You know what I'm saying? Some of them were, and one of them was a Kiwi. You know what I'm saying? He was an older Kiwi that was out of the 40s. That the 4 trays, the 5 tray Avalon. You know what I'm saying?
Did his situation go through the dental?
I don't know. I came on a late freight and I heard about his. He was saying, I used to push him in a wheelchair. He was a strong man. Then all of a sudden he was saying he couldn't walk, or you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling needles in my legs, man. Something going on, man. I don't know what this is. And I'm pushing him and I'm listening to him, but I don't understand either, and I don't understand how to help him. You know what I'm saying? But later on, years later, I had my own experiences. And I related that to that, like maybe that's what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt everything that he said he felt, I felt it too.
You know what's deep? You know what's deep on that subject right now? I believe just yesterday I saw something in the news that said there's a new phenomenon being introduced. I don't want to misquote the title, but I believe it was sudden adult death syndrome.
Yeah, man.
Where there are a lot of young males dropping dead suddenly. You heard anything of that? Off record. All right. Well, anyway, they were relating it to SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome where perfectly healthy babies, there's a phenomenon where they would just not make it to the next morning alive, and there's no explanation why they died, and they call it SIDS. There is currently a condition where adult young men are dropping dead with no explanation, and not the mainstream, but those that are not invested in the mainstream agenda are claiming and suggesting that it has something to do with. Got to be careful how you refer it.
They call it SADS.
That's SADS. So remember, SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. SADS is sudden adult death syndrome, a new phenomenon that has hit the scene post-COVID. And a lot of people are thinking that the reason, it's the only way to, if you look at our society by large, it's the only new thing interjected that will account for such deaths. 40 and under.
Technology is everything, right? I mean, the only thing they have to do is draw the blood through the technology today. You can determine anything that's going on inside the human body.
They're even making efforts, and I think they've been successful to even like genetically design your baby. I think influential rich people have the capability of going to an office,
see the eye color,
yes, IQ level, height, yeah. And yesterday I did an episode of the Black Box, and we talked about the fact that Kraft Mayo and Burger King are actively celebrating Pride Month with their marketing campaign. They have a fucking jar of mayonnaise that they took it rainbow color, and it usually says mayo on it. It says Gayo. Burger King, for the whole month of June, they're offering their burgers with 2 top buns or 2 bottom buns to celebrate Pride Month. And we were discussing.
Man, what's Pride Month, man?
Bro, you see, Pride Month is a month dedicated to people who are proud of the fact that they enjoy being intimate with people of the same sex. So the whole world as a collection in our current society, I know you off the grid, like I
sounds
said earlier.
psychological to me.
It is extreme. Pride, bro. It is a very extremely.
That sounds psychological to me.
I cannot for the life of me understand how a community can take a word as important as pride and a fucking natural element as beautiful as a rainbow. And now you cannot use the word pride without being associated with that community, or you cannot utilize the rainbow in any form of fashion without being perceived. And the rainbow is something nature gave us. We look at all of nature in awe. The ocean, the clouds, the wind, the fact that we're breathing something that's keeping us alive that we can't see or touch. We're in awe of all that. The rainbow is included, but we can't even fuck with it. I'm a fly nigga. I like to wear colors. I would love to be able to wear a rainbow something at certain points, but I can't even do it because
you'll be associated.
I'm associated, yeah. You feel me? And who's trying to just automatically associate with something that they're not a part of? And that's just not, that's like me. I will wear red even when I was fully active, but I would never wear a red bandana. So bandana's kind of like associated you with what you were claiming more so than the color. So it's just certain things that I'm not going to do. Yeah, totally off the subject. I know this is not on your normal conversation list, but people as influential as Ray J, and I know you were familiar with the name.
Yeah.
This dude, he's classified as a Pyru, even though whether you knew that or not. But you know, he's a successful R&B.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a Pyru from Carson's interview. Accepted. You know, of course he was already popular, so. But he was born over there and really, so he, whatever. However, this dude went out his way to do a public service announcement that all real niggas need to tap into this Pride Month and show him and his gay partner some love. In the middle of him doing this nigga going live. This nigga stick his tongue out and say, like he looking at the camera, like, "Ooh, is my tongue red? I'm tripping." And then he get back to talking this. God, we living in a different time, bro. This is what Pride Month is about, bro. And even this is what the heterosexual people are thinking about Pride Month in our community. We getting slightly off subject, but it was a reason I brought it up, though. It's gonna come on right after that. That's not the part. As soon as he finished, the part that I'm talking about gonna pop up. That's the first reference I have of it. But these two niggas run together with Whack 100. Ray J, The Game, and Whack 100. They're a trio. This was like 15 years ago, this shit.
This was 15 years ago?
But the shit Ray J finna say happened just the other day. I just put that little shit together for my show the other day to make a connection with the whole energy. But watch what Ray J, watch what Ray J come on and do.
Oh, you doing?
Yeah, his Ray J part is only like 10 seconds. Yeah, there you go.
Got a hell of a collab going on.
Yeah, painting a picture.
Yeah.
Letting these niggas speak for themselves though.
Yeah.
I didn't have to say much. Watch Ray J. Right after this. Ray J part is only like 10 seconds.
You like threw it in the water. You like mixed the water, put a little Kool-Aid in it.
Yeah, you gotta like watch. I fucked up. I showed that nigga the whole clip. That ain't even the clip with Ray J on it. God, that's crazy. Oh, my mama. In regards to like your whole experience from the time you were incarcerated to the steps you've made since you've been out with the technology and the implant, what would you sum up where you at with it currently?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm looking for resolve. I'm looking for a conclusion. Meaning that I'm looking for something to end. Just because I did the extraction, things haven't ceased to exist. You know what I'm saying? And I related it to like how a vehicle.
Physically?
Yeah, I'm saying like the technology is there. I'm saying I'm going through things that every day on a day-to-day basis. And I was gonna go to another subject, but
please go ahead. Feel free.
But this is they are capable of still doing things to me without the technology being there. So I'm saying I'm looking for a conclusion. I'm looking for a resolve. I'm looking for somebody to step up and say, okay, we can do this. We can make them stop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know the dentists that did it, the doctors that implant.
When you mention things like transhumanism, that movement is so progressive and advanced. How do you think we can make them stop? You don't think that what you experienced is something that happened to you? The way they did it was inappropriate. I think that, trying to find somebody to hold accountable may be practical for your experience individually, but it seems like this type of program is not going to be stopped.
I'm telling you this, I don't even care if it don't be stopped.
Are you aware of some of the things that Elon...
If it is not stopped.
Because you did say earlier that you think there are a lot of positive implications.
Yeah, it can be used for medicinal purposes.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I'm saying you can things
Elon
together.
Musk.
The energy with the because it go through a process of transfusion. You hit the synergy, right? Synergy is more of the sum than what's there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So when they put the technology in there, it processes transfusion. It is fused into the central nervous system. You know what I'm saying? Which gives them a direct line to the cerebrum.
Is that,
you know what I'm saying? They could perform a diagnostic.
Is that
body.
Is that the concept of nanotechnology?
The nanotechnology. You know what I'm saying? They have something smaller now.
Correct.
The nano is a little bit bigger than the.
So they beyond that.
Than the microchip. You know what I'm saying? It's they have different different material.
It's RNA down. It's smaller than.
Yeah, it's smaller. I mean, it's some. The nano is small too because you have to understand how small it is in order for it to fit inside of a tooth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then there's the other material.
But anything that can be transferred through a needle is too small for the mind to comprehend the fact that it's actually large. It's like a lot there. Yeah, it's hard for us to, as general laymen, to process the concept that something that tiny can contain so much.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for a conclusion. I ain't trying to say to stop a whole program because I think this is bigger than like that one step for mankind and another step for humanity. However it went. Tell me how that went.
So tomorrow,
small step for man, one huge whatever. However the thing goes. You know what I'm saying?
I can't quote.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what this is.
That was something about the.
I'm gonna tell you that's what
that
this
was
is.
NASA, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you that's what this is, right? And I'm saying like, of course you can't stop it. So I ain't trying to stop that. I want my life back.
No, you walk out your house, take your trash out early morning. Sun barely cracked the sky. Tomorrow, next week, 2 weeks from now. White car, black car pull up. Windows go down. Couple white men. Holla at you, sir. We're familiar with what you've been through. We want to speak to you, and they bring it to some resolution and give you some clearance and want to give you the opportunity to re-enter the program and voluntarily receive. Would it be something you would consider? That's just hypothetical.
Hey, look, for education, I mean, you want to know everything, so I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, I probably would say like, nah, I don't know, I don't want to talk about that.
Because it sound Mickey off top.
I'm saying, yeah, for education. I mean, I done been this far, so I wouldn't turn around. I mean, this far without my consent. I'm saying, look, what is this thing, and what can this thing really do? I want to see everything. I need a full experience. You know what I'm saying? Right. Of course, I would say that, but I'm saying, hey, I want my life back. I want control. I don't want somebody making me have to use the bathroom. I have to get up. You know what I'm saying? They can show you, hey, look, you finna have to go through this. And so I use the bathroom 50 times. You take all the water out of my body. And like I give an example, it's thousands of veins running through your body. These veins, these wires is running all through your muscles. So you having to drink water in order to lubricate. They wash the muscles. They wash the blood. You know what I'm saying? It's a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I'm saying, but it can suck all the water out of your body from everywhere and then and make you release it. So I'm saying, hey, look, I don't want you making me do this all the time. Right. I want to be able to do this to myself. Right. But I'm saying, like I said, for medicinal purposes, you can help somebody. Right. I ain't telling you not to help them. But I mean, I'm saying, don't just invade my body. What was that? That's the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution. Correct. I have the right to be free from invasion. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, hey,
correct.
I have the right to be free from invasion.
And there's so many people that are so willing to sign up for this type of thing. I think the evasive part of their process is probably going to be less and less prevalent anyway. People as mainstream as Elon Musk discuss the current developments and desires to connect technology.
I seen him a tweet, right?
Talk to him. Yeah,
I seen him a tweet, right? I seen him.
Oh, you sent him one?
No, yeah, of course, man. They talking about hooking the thing up, hooking the chip up to your brain or going inside your brain. But I didn't know how. I said, man, why would you do
Neuralink.
something? Yeah, Neuralink. I asked him, why would you do something as barbaric as that when you have this? There's an alternative. I mean, you're gonna cut open my skull. I'm saying this like this nanobit technology.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they go in there. I mean, it's evasive. But it ain't, invasive. It's invasive, not evasive. It's invasive, but it's not like the surgery.
But see, you experienced it from a perspective but you experienced it from not being degenerate at the enhancement. We don't know the implications of a degenerate human and the enhancements of the technology you went through. I would imagine someone as knowledgeable on the subject as Elon Musk would know the reason there is a necessity for what he considers the Neuralink versus what you experienced. Yeah. Because
I mean, I ain't gonna cut my brain open.
Your experience is not from a person.
Not my brain. I mean, I ain't gonna go through a.
But with the Neuralink, they're introducing it from. We know it's
skull. It made it seem like you have to.
It is, but just think about it. This is how they're discussing it. They're not discussing it for the person that's just healthy, deciding I want to enhance myself. We know that's the implications that are definitely going to be involved once it's done. But the way they're discussing it is for like paraplegics. They're saying it's a process where they can go and tap into the portion of the brain that is not communicating to your limbs.
Do you mind if I call you Spider?
Please.
Go ahead and keep talking.
They saying that with this Neuralink, they'll be able to help degenerates be normal. Now, everyone with a logical mind says, well, as soon as they establish that, you're going to have rich and influential people who just want to be better than normal.
You don't think they already doing that?
I agree. Definitely.
Understand this. Let me tell you this. When I told you about this technology, look, they stood me up without me standing up.
What do you mean? Sitting down?
They stand me up. You can stand me up.
Joystick.
You can stand me up. I'm telling you, like, that's why I gave him, I tweeted him an alternative because I know he would understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, why would I?
But you have well-working everything.
But I'm saying, yeah.
So we don't know the implications of that technology on limbs that don't function.
But this is a discussion now, right? This
Correct.
should be a discussion, right? So I'm saying it probably
So
be
are
a
you
discussion.
asking him, why would you consider this?
This technology,
What I'm
as
telling
opposed
you,
to
I'm not Elon Musk. I'm no expert, but I would imagine he has an answer. That's what I'm saying.
maybe
Just think about it. He's so publicly invested in the concept. He has no problem discussing what he's interested in doing, which is the Neuralink.
Oh, okay.
And when you compare that to the technology that you're familiar with, just because it's in existence, I would imagine someone as understandable as him has to be aware to some degree of what you have gone through. Whether he is or not, I can't confirm. But if we're going to question him on the subject matter, you have to be assuming he's aware of the technology that you're
saying that that's
because you the one
you understanding this is
you
that
question
society,
him.
right? That's a different society,
But you
right?
question him. You said you asked him about it, but
Yeah, I did.
You would have to
I did.
assume he was somewhat familiar with what you're referring to.
I mean, not just assume. I know he is.
That's what I'm saying.
That's his circle,
just think
right?
about it. So why
That's what he specializes
there
in.
would have to
right?
be I
Technology,
But your
right?
question to him, and I'm not him,
right.
just trying to
I'm listening.
provide potential answers, which none of them can be true, but one of them may. There may be a monetary investment in one technology versus the other is why he would be more interested in seeing his be advanced versus the other. Or, like I say, you're a well able-bodied human being. Maybe the implications of the technology that you experience don't affect degenerate.
But understand what I'm saying, though.
I am.
I'm
listening.
saying transfusion. It amalgamates. Through the energies of the central nervous system. I'm saying they going in your brain and can do a diagnostic. That's what I'm telling you. I'm saying they in the brain. I'm saying they can look, man. Did I tell you they crossed my eyes? Look, that sounds crazy, right? If I tell you that, I'm saying I'm going through something. I tell my taste buds, my all my senses, my smelling. You can enhance my smelling. I can smell anything. You can. In my experience, I thought of military. I thought of all the military, all the soldiers, or the some type of special.
What they call it, Manchurian candidates?
Something like that. You can for enhanced abilities. You know, when you think about this, you think about Incredible Hulk. Remember the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
You seen the movie?
Or the $1 Million Man?
But you seen the movie The Incredible Hulk when
A recent one?
No, one of the old ones.
Yeah, I remember all the old ones. Yeah, the old ones. Yeah.
I mean, it's okay.
David
A recent
Banner.
one since we've been adults. They made this movie,
Right, yeah.
to where the dogs and everything became. You know, they licked the blood or whatever. and it became, you know what I'm saying? And then they had the other dude that was in the military. He was trying to take down the Incredible Hulk. He was going against him, but he was doing blood transfusion, using the blood from the Hulk or whatever, and he became enhanced. He had some enhanced abilities or something like that. I'm saying like that. Like I'm talking about speed. I'm saying, man, I don't have the expertise, but I would like to talk to somebody.
If people,
somebody to teach me
anybody
something about
listening,
this,
you hear what
I'm
he just
going
said?
through. I have the
Anybody,
technology.
somebody,
I have the
everybody
technology.
that has any idea, interest, understanding upon the subject matter that can help my brother and myself understand better what we have experienced, because through one another we live vicariously. So I feel like I'm in this journey alongside him, because this is my brother for real, and I'm just as curious and interested to figure out. Juxtapose. Yeah. I want to know what we're going through, and it's very interesting subject matter. I appreciate it because if you just take historically what we represent to the actual environment as individuals off top, you wouldn't imagine that the conversation would be about something on this level. You would think we'd be here shooting the shit about things with far less consequence and importance. But I appreciate the fact to be able to break bread on a public platform with someone who is not typically professing to be an expert at anything in particular, but has experienced something so abnormal with the fucking courage to talk about it publicly.
Let me ask you a question. What if the individuals that's functioning in our society committing all these heinous crimes, or we can go to the mass shootings and everything.
Correct.
What if these subjects have some kind of way been invaded by this technology, and these people are making them do?
You know what?
Making them act on these levels. I'm saying, would they be constitutionally held accountable? I'm saying, constitutionally, could they be held accountable?
Yes, because
constitutionally, if somebody makes somebody in your brain and makes you move right or left,
No, they can't.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
That's what I'm saying. I think something needs to be done. Somebody needs to be checked. I seen it in the news.
This is what you bring my mind to. That being a possibility as to why these people commit these heinous acts might also be tied into why we see them get bulletproof vests in Burger King when they get arrested.
Man, I'm saying this. I'm saying this last dude.
Well, you and I can't.
This last dude drove 18 hours to go shoot up in what was that, in Buffalo?
Correct.
I'm saying why would you drive 18 hours? Why would he do that?
You know what I'm gonna go to? I'm not gonna speculate.
18 hours? That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, because,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
but it's a question though.
But this
it's a question
but
though.
when you see these type of murderers successfully arrested and treated with such tender care, brings me back to the thought that there may be somebody aware of the fact that they didn't do this upon their own.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, probability. You know what I'm saying? Anything where there's probable.
I will vote toward that being probable to some extent.
Man, I'm saying I think it needs to be invested. I think it's worth being invested. I mean, investigated. It's worth being investigated. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree.
It's worth being investigated.
I totally agree. I know on the broad spectrum, it needs to be investigated.
I mean, you got to be absolved of any responsibility where there is somebody else capable of inducing some type of behavior response.
That's the point. I believe the fact of the matter, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But I think they have it established to the point where it's okay, whether that's going on or not, how do you prove that's what happened?
Okay, this is the start of the investigation. I have the material, and I need an analysis conducted. And where there's only thing you have to do is dispel what I'm saying, or substantiate what I'm saying one way or the other.
Do you think that Nicholas Rosenberg in any capacity can help him further his investigation into what he's been through? Shout out to Nick Rosenberg.
And I'm saying I ain't looking for a handout.
No.
I'll pay for the analysis.
Definitely. But
you know what I'm saying?
He's a comrade of ours that's in our circle that you will meet sooner than later. And he's an attorney, a defense attorney that you probably could have benefited from knowing some years ago. He's of the Jewish persuasion. He's in his 50s, approaching 60. And he just may have not his own personal knowledge, his database, his network might extend to other people that might be able to, facilitate. And I don't know for sure, but he's a scheduled guest on the podcast to come up soon. So he's a person that the producer of the show also knows outside of my connection with him. So his name just came up when while we're reaching out to the general public for anyone that can help us network to someone interested with this subject matter that can help us facilitate some type of answers as to what we've gone through, where we are, and where we're going with this. Oh my God, I meant to say that earlier, and I can't believe you just said that. This is my thing. Remember I asked you earlier about your personal makeup and if you thought that it made you desirable as a candidate for such type program, and you didn't want to really speak on that. I only asked you that because I can imagine the powers that be wanting to control certain elements of our community, certain actors, certain portions of influence are very key to be able to subdue, control. When you did see, if you go back to Los Padrinos as a child, when you were there and think about the energy that you carry, contain, have possessed, have displayed, I can imagine them being desirable of being able to shut that down when they want. Man. I want to know now, are you concerned at all about being motivated, controlled, or to do anything outside of what you decide to do willingly on your own?
If I denied that, I'd be lying.
That's deep. That's deep.
If I denied that, I'd be lying.
That's extremely deep. And I'm not going to even expound on how deep it is, but I'm going to take a moment of silence and say once more, that's deep. And I want everybody listening to understand how fucking deep that statement is. That's probably the deepest thing that's been said throughout this whole conversation. Especially because I'm familiar with the decision that you have been comfortable making consciously as a regular human being, not affected by said technology. This is another reason why I think perhaps with this being things that you, as a candidate, I'm looking from the mind state of a people who's already going through establishing this program and trying to pick out people. If this truly is indeed what you went through, I'm not surprised you've been chosen as a candidate for this program. I'm not surprised at all.
That's food for thought, right?
Indeed, I'm not surprised. And I wish you all the well, and I'm right here with you as we journey through this process. This is some of the most interesting conversation we had on the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast till date. So if we got any type of belts or trophies to throw out, you got that currently. We're 3 episodes in. So just so you know, historically, as we built this, your first appearance on our podcast was the 3rd episode. And I don't know, anything current event you want to bring up? Do we cover our hour or? Throw me something. Throw us something. Give us something off subject. Is that enough of that?
Yeah.
Give us something to give us some of that energy we was on prior a little bit. Do something. Soften up the homie personality a little bit. Let them learn him a little bit outside of the experience. Let him talk about things that give his personality a little more.
Transitioning home after 18 years, what do you think is changed? The world's changed in the last 18.
I'm curious to know, 18 years, we're rounded off. 20 years, bro. I think about the I'm Gonna Get You Sucker movie when the dude came out of prison and he had the platform shoes on with the aquarium on. Yeah. Did you go through any version of that type of experience, like thinking that just because the last thing you saw is the last thing you saw, did you get home and have any shock on the conditions of the current elements of what's going on out here?
I mean, I have to say that I was blessed. I came into a situation that where I'm completely comfortable and it's very highly favorable. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
I'm blessed, so I can't say that I had any problems with adjustment because I stayed in tune with certain current events, mentally and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? I had a good support team. You know what I mean?
You know, you got on. Is this a religious expression?
Religious
the
expression.
Cap.
I believe it could be a religious expression.
For those that are listening,
like
for those that are listening on audio who cannot see the video, the homie has on. I don't want a kufi.
It's definitely a kufi.
And along with this kufi, for y'all who can't see him, he has on a long sleeve black Pro Club profile style T-shirt. He has on a pair of brownies. Those are cloth gloves. They're also
before you touch the shirt. Before you say it's not Pro Club.
Oh, it's not Pro Club.
No, it's not Pro Club.
It's Pro Club style, but it's way more smooth and soft.
Yeah.
My bad. It's a turtleneck.
Yeah.
No,
you wasn't paying attention to me.
I wasn't. No. I saw the turtleneck, but the mic hit it right now, and these hit it. So, the kufi. So it is a religious expression.
It definitely is a religious expression, but I mean, with more detail, it's more.
Do you mind or no? It's not.
I mean, that'll delve into the intellect, right?
I don't mind
intellect and
because
spiritual. I'm just saying, I want to.
I'm interested in my audience knowing a little bit more about you, other than your experience in the feds, the experience with that technology, your experience as a gangbanger, which I keep highlighting. Outside of that, this is the type of conversation that perhaps might just shed a little more light on the person that you are.
I mean, like I said, that delves into the.
If you're comfortable, it's not. I know.
I'm definitely comfortable.
Definitely. Please do.
I mean, whether comfort is not
it's
not an issue. It's not even a question. I'm just saying, like, at this stage, I mean, on a personal setting, I sit down and say, like, this is my perspective of this.
Correct.
This is why I do this. This is that. You know what I'm saying? But make no mistake, I did take my shot when I was an adolescent.
I remember being incarcerated with you in the 90s in the county jail. And I remember your spiritual expressions being deep, even on the dark side.
Yeah.
That didn't include, because I was raised in such a spiritual Christian environment. I remember just being on one in jail and some of the things you were comfortable saying about spiritual things that was on the dark side that made me, I would never imagine you as a light bearer in the sense of positive energy when it comes to spiritual subjects.
I mean, that's a
because you were always aware spiritually. It wasn't like you were.
I'm gonna say something,
please,
and I don't want to say it, and I don't want it to be taken out of content. I don't want nobody to think that I'm saying, "Oh, he's a God" or "This is God." I'm saying,
please
that,
be
that,
you. Be
that
you.
energy, that force, whether it's light or darkness, is within all of us.
Same
you know
energy.
what I'm saying? It's in every one of us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that's that God-like force. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
And having a human experience and only really being aware of either or at certain times doesn't disqualify you as a good person, even though they're both currently always present. There's times in our experience where we're not aware of one or the other.
Condition provide availability, right?
Indeed.
Availability for that to be expressed. Whatever energy that is
Exactly.
that's honed or is inside of there, condition. You know what I'm saying? And we've been bred in a different style of conditions. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
That cultivated us in a particular way. You know what I'm saying?
In general.
Like I'm saying, I'm not one that say that harp on any experience. You know, I'm proud for the experience that I've undergone. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
I'm saying it built
good
character.
and bad.
It shaped the man, and I wouldn't say, oh, I wouldn't do that, or I don't want to live that. I wish this would have been different. Nah, let's do it all over again.
Right, no regrets.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
None at all. None at all. You know what I'm saying? Whether whoever it is that deem it one way or the other, you know what I'm saying? That's to their own perspective.
That's crazy because
that's what they're entitled to.
My next question to you was, at this journey, at this point in life that you met, any message that you had to throw back to the adolescents of our same culture, environment, coming up, about to chase and currently experiencing the things that you went through, I would just say, throw a message, just saying we were going up a hill. We stuck our foot in a couple of holes we didn't expect. We probably bumped into some bushes that was kind of low, that scratched our face. But now we got to tell those coming up the hill, hey, watch out for them bushes. Watch out for this. What would be your message to throw back?
I would say read, be diligent. I would say pick your idols carefully. That's what I would say. You know what I'm saying? Those who you look up to, be careful about who you look up to. You know what I'm saying? And I say read because there's a lot of messages in literature. You know what I'm saying? From olden days.
Whether you realize it or not, I want the listeners to realize that was probably the same exact message that Neighborhood Nip the Crip would have given. He was a big reader. He was heavy on pushing reading. Almost every question I ever asked Nipsey Hussle, asking him for insight on an important subject, he would refer me to a book every time. So I know a lot of niggas. I've experienced a lot of niggas. I know a lot of street niggas. I wanted you to know only you and he. As far as I know to be street niggas, keep that on the forefront of what you promote as a way to figure this shit out. And I admire him as a reader because he was very eloquent in translating what he has read. I am when it comes to practicality, I'm an efficient reader. When I need to read, contain, comprehend information, and apply it, I do well. When it comes to reading for a natural desire of being interested in what someone else wrote, I have a disconnect. So I do admire the readers, although I see myself as less of a reader and more of a writer. When it comes to the general perspective of society, feel more interested in being an individual that includes material to be read versus one that consumes written material. That'll take us to a conversation we had before we got on air about one of the most famous written pieces of work ever presented to humankind. And I don't know how much time we have. That might be saved for another, we got 5 minutes. So we'll save that for another event for you to return back to the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast.
You know, somebody else's experience might help, cultivate or give a different cultivate your perception. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I
agree with that totally. And I can tap into any literature with that perspective.
Yeah.
But when any literature is accredited to an author that I deem with my common sense has never claimed to be a part of this personal literature, when it's promoted as a certain thing, and this is for the next time you see me and Lil J are on the Factz Ova Feelinz podcast, our conversation is going to pick up where we left off about, our perception on what other human beings have written and how we apply it to our philosophies, our lifestyles, just literature in general. Because I do believe literature has its place in society. I think it's very important. I think it's very essential. I think it's very important and a good process for any human being to learn to digest the writings of others. But I think there's an equally as important process that doesn't involve being even concerned with what others have written. My experience with a lot of books where I lose interest, I can read the little back page of what the book is supposed to be about and then read the entire book and never gain more information that I gained in the fucking little summary. Yeah. And it started getting me to believe, like, as I started reading a lot, I just rely on a summary process of a lot of the literature that's been presented to me. The last book I read was written by Kiko, and it was called Gun Talk. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I got it for you. I got it for you too.
I'm familiar with it. I ran into some people that gave me the skit while I was in the feds.
But
right?
I need that type of
and
motivation.
I read a little bit of it.
Okay, so you know.
They had the rough draft of it, right? You know what I'm saying? So the gun was doing the talking, right?
Exactly.
So I'm hip to that, right? I'm hip to that. I'm hip as well as I'm hip.
I didn't force myself, but that's a book I read in its entirety based on the presentation, who I got it from, what it means. But it was very interesting literature. But you know, it's fiction with a moral. It's a point, but that's a creative writing. But that's just, I can digest it. I can go through the process of reading black and white, but my personal interest just really loses. I even listen to audiobooks, but once I get almost a fucking idea of what the book professes to claim, I kind of got the idea of the book, and that might be good or bad. But I'm very interested in having another conversation. We're going to document this here with the production department, where we want to pick up the next time we invite the homie back, when he's invited is at any time. Anything you want to leave the listeners with, because we went through an introduction of who you are. We went through a little bit of our background of who we are together. We went through your experience with your incarceration slightly. I know we haven't even scratched the surface, but we went through your experience with the technology and what we appear to be people that were involved or interested in what you had going on with your dental work beyond your knowledge. And here we are at this point. We coming to the end of our conversation. Anything you want to leave with the listeners pertaining to the conversation we just had, or we could tie it in and not leave it here until we tap in again. I just want to give you the opportunity to close out with any words of expression, period.
Man, your summary and all the details before that, man, was concise. You know what I'm saying?
I love you, cuz. On my mama. I don't give a fuck about
no need
nothing.
to touch on anything.
Dead homie.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's it.
Oh, we definitely appreciate you coming here. When I say we, I speak on behalf of myself, the listeners, the production team, which is a one-man game. Shout out to my nigga 2A's. And I want you to know you're a very expressive, articulate individual, and we appreciate that type of energy around here. These doors are open to you. I don't care what it is you desire to discuss. We're here to have meaningful conversations on a public platform. And as you launch your public campaign and bringing exposure to issues that are important to you, this is a spot you always got to call home, and you can be here, bro.
All right, I appreciate it.
Factz Ova Feelinz. I'm not going to keep up with this numerical thing for the long run, y'all, but episode number 3, one I appreciate quite highly because it included one of my childhood friends that turned into one of my grown comrades. We had a lot of shared experiences, and then we had even more unshared experiences that make our total experience quite unique, interesting, and I enjoy bringing this one to y'all more so than I probably would have with a different type of guest. And I'm definitely interested in having the homie back, because as much as we tried to go deep into a lot of the things that we've discussed, we only scratched the surface. Q97 for Devdo. Eastside, baby.
Ain't got no money. Them foreign cars and all them bitches, they gon' leave you. Only thing you really have is really you. Reality check.